Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. So on this channel, I compare books I've read to their on-screen adaptation. This week I did Mockingjay. I got it because my library is open for drive-through pickup. I'm very excited about that. But Mockingjay, so I actually split it up how the movies did. This one will be Mockingjay Part 1, and then next week I'll do Mockingjay Part 2. So before I get started, I just want to say when these books first came out, I only ever read the first and second one because this third one wasn't out yet. It didn't come out like a year later, and by then, I just never got around to reading it. So I recently reread the first one, watched the movie, reread the second one, watched the movie, and I was so excited to read the third one for the first time ever and to watch the movies, and I was very disappointed by both. So my notes might not be the best. I was kind of half paying attention, to be honest, and then I read half the book, watched the first movie, read the second half of the book, watched the second movie. So these notes are from kind of a while ago, honestly, so if I don't know what I'm talking about or lose my train of thought, I'm sorry. I was not into it, and now I might have forgotten. So without any further ado, now that I gave it that great intro, let's go. So the book opened up differently from the movie, obviously, as it always does. The movie opened up with her trying to run from her nightmares, so to speak, and then she ends up in the hospital talking to Finnick. In the book, it opens up with her already headed to District 12. And that was her idea completely. She had to convince people to let her go. Now in the movie, after it shows her talking to Finnick, Plutarch comes up with the idea to send her to District 12 to kind of get her on their side and get her to be the Mockingjay. So that was a little bit different too. And I just think the visuals of District 12 were I'm sorry, there's something in my eye, were so great. It's one thing to read a book and be like, the buildings are burnt down, blah, blah, blah. But it's so different to see it. So I think that was a win on the movie's behalf for sure. So another thing that's different about the movies is that we see Snow's attempts to keep the districts at bay, which of course the book takes place from just Katniss's point of view, so you don't see that. And then I just thought it was funny. He says the Mockingjay symbol is treason, and then as he says that, his daughter's undoing her braid. I just thought that was so funny. In my past two videos, I talked about that braid, so I laughed. So the first time she sees Peeta on screen in the book, she's at command with a small group of people. But in the movie, she's at dinner in the dining hall with everyone, and it's just not as private. And so she obviously is heartbroken at seeing him. And then everyone around her is just kind of going nuts at what he's saying and saying boo, traitor and stuff. So it was just a different dynamic that the movie gave. And then I thought it was cute in the movie. She dreamed that Peeta came to her when she had a nightmare. And so it showed that she was missing that. That was cute. That didn't happen in the book. So she made her little demands for being Mockingjay, right? And in the movie, she didn't make one of her demands that she gets to hunt with Gale, or that he's by her side throughout the whole thing. She only gave half the demands, so that was kind of lame. Hunting was kind of a big part of the first half of the book, and that kind of explained why Gale was such a big player, this nobody from District 12 is in on all this stuff, and it's why? He's literally a kid. Is he still a kid? I don't know. But he's I don't know why they sent him to all these high stakes stuff if she didn't say he has to be by my side. So I thought that was something they should have included for sure. And then I was very confused because the book, she's confused, she doesn't know if Effie made it out or not, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's Effie, alive and well, and I was mad, because does that mean her prep team isn't going to be there? And in the book, they were there and being mistreated, and of course, that was cut from the movie. The movies kind of cut the prep team a lot, so that shouldn't have been a surprise, but I was very surprised to see Effie that early on. But I think seeing the prep team mistreated in the book just kind of really helped build that Coin is a bad guy, like, or not the best guy, and kind of helps with how the ending plays out. Spoilers, as always. Anyways, and then also in her demands that I was talking about, she includes Annie in them right away, not as an afterthought. In the book, she kind of had to run up to Coin right before she made the announcement and be like, hey, put Annie on the list. So that showed her thinking about Finnick a little more. And then I was mad because in the movie, they turned her Mockingjay pin black. I'm like, you can't even see it. They put her black pin on her black suit. What was wrong with it being gold? That was lame. Oh my gosh, my stomach hurts. Okay, I'm sorry. Push through. So when they were brainstorming Katniss's best moments, they didn't mention the part with the berries, where in the book, that was like the third one mentioned, and then they all kept coming back to it. They're like, the berries was the best, you know? So that was kind of a letdown and easy to fit in there. Wow, I don't feel good. I'm cold now. The hospital scene in District 8, so that was a lot different. In the book, she kind of went around through the hustle and bustle and was talking to different people, but in the movie, everyone like stopped and stared at her, and then they all saluted her, which didn't happen in the book. And then also it was weird because Katniss didn't have Haymitch in her ear. She didn't have like earpieces with him talking and telling her what to do, which was kind of a big part of the book. And then, like, I feel like that would have been kind of easy to play off too. But I'm not a movie maker, so whatevs. But come on, you split it into 2 movies. Put Haymitch in her ear. Like, come on. That makes me mad. Anyways, and then Gale didn't have to physically restrain Boggs when they were going into the fire zone, pretty much. They were supposed to go to this bunker, and they didn't listen. And in the book, Gale, like, literally kicks Boggs in the face to be like, we're going. And they didn't have to do that in the movie. And then Katniss's speech after the bombing of the hospital in District 8. Okay, listen. That gave me chills. I knew it was happening. I read the book. No mood in the book, right? I thought it was really good in the movie when she's like, if we burn, you burn with us. I was like, yes, girl. And then it showed the finished propo, and I was like, oh, like those two wins on the movie's behalf again. And then, so like I said, one of her demands wasn't hunting, but then Katniss later said, like, she asked if she could hunt, and Coin was like, yeah, sure. I'm like, just like that. Like, she had to fight for this in the book, but whatever. And then she sees Peeta's next interview on TV with Gale, whereas in the book she saw it with Finnick, and Finnick's like, act like you didn't see it, blah, blah, blah. But no, she just sees it with Gale, and like, that's fine. But like, literally in the book, she acted like she didn't see it, and then she was all mad because Gale didn't say anything to her, and Gale had seen it separately. So it kind of caused a rift between them. I'm going to talk more about Gale later. So she saw the interview with Gale instead of Finnick. That was a difference. And then it was Katniss's idea to show District 12. That wasn't the case in the book. But it was interesting seeing all of the districts rebelling in their own ways. Again, we don't get that from the book. And then Peeta's little warning to Katniss in District 13 was different. Honestly, I don't really remember verbatim what he said, but I do know the words were different. And it also didn't show him get injured on camera. It was just kind of implied, whereas in the book it says, like, you see blood splatter the floor and, like, hear hits. So it's much less implied. And then in the book, the alarm sounds for them all to go deeper and to avoid the bombing that Peeta warned about. And, like, she literally gets there and she's like, oh, I forgot about Prim. But in the movie, she's got to be the good sister, so, and they got to, like, build up their relationship, so she goes looking for her right away. I'm like, oh, what a good sister. And then I was like, why is water pouring down on them while they're on these stairs? Like, this is so unnecessary. and like just trying to add to the scene. I don't know, like she went looking for Prin and it's water falling. Like, I don't get it. And then the bomb started before they were even in the bunker, which didn't happen in the book. In the book, they were all safely in the bunker, and then the bomb started. And then they were like automatically closing doors in the movie, which was so unnecessary, just trying to build suspense. In the book, that wasn't happening. Someone was just literally closing it, and she's like, no! But in the movie, it was like counting down, the doors will close in 5, 4, 3. I was like, this is so unnecessary. Clearly, they're going to make it, whatever. And like, why would they even be on a timer like that? Like, that's stupid. Oh my gosh. They didn't mention that filming Finnick was to help the plan to get the others out of the capital as a distraction. And Katniss was supposed to be there too. I don't know why she, like, in the book, she filmed a little segment about how she met Peeta. Was it about how she met? Something about Peeta. And then Finnick took over and was filming. And it was supposed to be a distraction to keep everyone's eyes on them instead of on their little jailbreak mission. And Katniss was supposed to be there, and like in the movie it was just Finnick, and it didn't really explain that he was there to help them. And I'm so mad that they just did that as like his moment in the book was powerful and important, and in the movie they just kind of made it background noise to on-screen action, and I think that was kind of bogus. I'm glad that they left in the part about Finnick being prostituted. They skipped right over that with the last movie with that Peacekeeper Cray. So I thought maybe like it just wasn't family friendly enough or something, and so they're going to cut out all aspects of, you know, that form of life. But I'm glad that they kept it in with this movie. It did skip other secrets he knew about like people, but I guess that wasn't very important to the movie. They're like, we don't know these people, so let's skip it and get to the person we do know. But it made like the video longer, you know. Okay, no, I'm not. I'm good. And then it showed the rescue mission, which we didn't get to see in the book. But in the movie, Katniss was like watching the rescue mission. So, I mean, if that happened in the book, we would have known how it happened. But as we know, that didn't happen in the book. She was filming. So, I don't know why she got to watch that. Like, that's stupid. And then she talks to Snow. They like video call during the save thing, the mission, whatever. I can't talk right now. I don't feel good. So she like FaceTimes him, which didn't happen in the book. And then holy moly, her reunion with Peeta was way more intense on screen than in this dang book. It just said like he choked her at the end of the chapter. But wow, he like smashed her into stuff. Woo, it was good. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up. It's already so long. I had like no bullet points. But before I go, I just want to say Gale's storyline was very altered. They had a lot of rifts between them in the book, Katniss and Gale. They disagreed on a lot of things. And it also didn't show him like working with BT about building traps or anything like that. I feel like he was a very prominent character in the movie, but very downplayed from what he was in the book. And then same with Coin. Like, she was much more like agreeable and easygoing in the movie. And like it didn't really show that her and Katniss kind of butted heads. It just kind of made it seem like they got along. So that's all I have to say about Mockingjay Part 1. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you liked the book and liked the movie, or if you didn't. You know I didn't, and you know if you want to know why, I'll tell you in the comments. But I was just disappointed. Book or movie adaptation, I don't know. I don't know which one's better, honestly. These both did not gain my attention. So yeah, I'll be back next week with the video of Mockingjay Part 2. Yeah, peace and love. Stay tuned, subscribe, and see you later. Bye. Oh my gosh, it would help if I could hit the button.